Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do a set for St. Patty's Day. I am using color Polygel from a Savaline kit and then also a white and clear that I already had on hand. First, let's start by prepping our nails. I am using a cuticle pusher to just push back the cuticles, and then I am using a diamond bit from a Melody Susie set. All the items that I'm using in this video, I will try to find the links for them and leave them in the description box below. And now I'm going to go ahead and go in with some cuticle nippers to just cut off the excess that was left by the bit. Here I'm just removing the shine off my nail with the fine grit sanding band, and as I'm editing this video I see little clouds of dust, and I'm not sure why I'm not using my dust collector that's literally sitting right next to me. After all my little clouds of dust, I dust off my nails and go in with some alcohol to dehydrate the nails. And since I had already did my right hand, I did go ahead and size the tips for my left hand as well, just to get them out the way. Also off camera, I used a flame bit to create some grooves on the underside of the tips to help them adhere better. I myself struggle with getting tips to adhere easily, and not just only getting them to adhere, I struggle with getting them on straight. I'm not sure if it's just how my nail beds are set up, the nail tip itself, or it's probably human error. More than likely it's human error. Here you can clearly see me struggling with my thumb. This is what I'm talking about. It is definitely human error. But now that the tips are on, let's go ahead and cut them down to size and make sure that they line up with the right hand. Here I just went in with a 180 grit nail file just to clean up the free edge and then the sides as well, just to make sure that they were crisp and clean. And then I do go in with a fine grit sanding band to just kind of blend in the tips to the natural nail, and then also removing the shine from the rest of the tip of the nail. So I do go ahead and apply dehydrator and primer to all my nails, which is something I shouldn't have done, and I'll get to the reason why in just a minute. I am using just a base coat that I had open, and for this set it is a Beetles base coat. I apply it to just 2 nails to begin with, and the reason why is the last set I did on myself, I had applied base coat to all my nails on the hand that I was working on, and by the time I had got to my thumb, I didn't touch everything around me and I didn't think anything of it in that moment. But a week later, my thumbnail on my right hand popped clean off. And then a few days later, my left thumbnail followed suit. So I'm just gonna see if this works better. Now back to this particular set, my thought for the pinky nail was to make it look like a pot of gold. So I'm only placing the black polygel on the tip of my nail, and then after curing the polygel, I apply a thin layer of base coat and get some gold glitter on there. This particular glitter has some really chunky pieces in it that I thought was a little too big for my pinky, but after getting the glitter how I liked it, I'll go ahead and cure that, and then I'll cap that with some clear polygel. literally put way too much clear polygel on this finger. So my ring finger, the idea for that was an Irish flag. I started with white polygel and I wasn't quite sure exactly where I wanted it to go when I was doing my right hand. I didn't want it to be such like the flag in regards to just having the colors side by side by side. But I ended up doing a color block anyway. It's just white at the bottom and green and orange at the top. So although I had my right hand to reference while I was doing my left hand, that didn't at all prevent me from effing it up, because you clearly see me looking at my right hand, and I do it quite often, especially with this finger, just to make sure that the design is done correctly. So at this point already, I am just trying to fix it. I decided to do a straight edge when I originally put the green polygel on there, and it needed to be a slanted edge. So I go ahead and just add another piece on there and get that slanted up. And then once I got that cured, I went ahead and took a flame bit to try to just clean up that edge and make it more of a slant versus, because it was kind of like a triangle at that particular time, and that's not what I was going for. But once I got that cleaned up, I went ahead and moved on to the orange polygel. So on my middle and index finger, my original plan was I was going to take glitter and color polygel to kind of make an ombre. But once I started playing with the glitters, I kind of liked it the way that it looked with just my natural nail bed. So what I did was I applied base coat, cured that, and then applied another layer of base coat and then put glitter on top of that. And then I'm kind of just maneuvering the glitter around just so that way it's not fully covering my finger. I know that there's only a little window that's not covered, but after I cure that, I do go in with clear polygel to just go ahead and cap that off, so when I'm filing, I'm not filing all the glitter off. So I just wanted to throw out there, you can clearly see my workstation, and you can see that I have more glitter on my workstation than I do on my finger. But with that being said, while I was capping off my fingers or even just doing the color polygel, random pieces of glitter would pop up, so I would have to go in with my tweezers to get that out, and then I had to smooth over my polygel again. So that was quite a process. For next time, I'm just gonna make sure I keep my workstation quite clear of glitter. thumbnails, I am just doing a solid color because I'm going to go ahead and add rhinestones to them. So on this particular finger, what I did was I just put the color Polygel down first, and then once I cured that, I did go ahead and cap it with clear Polygel just to build structure of the nail. And then also you could see while I'm doing this nail that I'm still getting bits of glitter that I have to get out with my tweezers. So there you just see me wipe off my nails with some alcohol to remove the sticky layer off of the polygel. And I did have to cut part of the video for when I started filing my nails due to me being out of frame. But I am just taking a 100 and 180 grit file here just to shape up my nails before I go in with an e-file. safety bit to clean off the excess bulk and to make sure that the nail is smooth. This particular bit is also a Melody Susie bit, as well as my nail dust collector. For the items that I'm able to find, I'll go ahead and leave in the description box below if you're looking for any of these items. I recently seen a video on Instagram where somebody used a diamond bit to clean up the cuticle area, and I really wanted to give it a try. I myself am still a newbie when it comes to the e-file. Although I am getting a little bit more comfortable with the safety bit, I am still very cautious around the cuticle area because I do have bits that don't have the rounded top, and I have managed to cut myself, and I just want to say that's not a pretty sight whatsoever, just blood everywhere. But I really think the diamond bit is a really good idea and definitely worth a try, since the diamond bit is less likely to cut you, so give it a go. But after I do that, I do go in with a buffer just to make sure that the top of the nail didn't have any scratches on it, and to also smooth out the side of the nails as well. Now that they're all buffed out, here are the rhinestones I will be using. They are gold rhinestones because of course it is for St. Patty's Day, and St. Patty's Day revolves around rainbows, leprechauns, gold, and of course corned beef. I am going to go ahead and go in with some rhinestone gel. I'm going to go ahead and put a thin layer on my nail where I want the rhinestones to be. After that, I'll go ahead and apply top coat and put the rhinestones on that and go ahead and cure. I do want to say that I am quite blind, and that might be a little bit of an exaggeration, but I do wear glasses and obviously I have to wear them all the time. But there's bits and pieces of this video I had to cut out due to being out of the frame, and especially at this point where I am applying top coat, I do have to pull my hand a little bit closer so that way I can make sure I'm getting it everywhere that I need to get it. So I just did want to throw that out there. So I do apologize about that. So now I'm gonna go ahead and apply some cuticle oil. It is still very much winter here. We actually just had a winter storm just about 2 days ago, and we got about 6 inches. So, you know, in the middle of March, it's always fun. But I'm gonna go ahead and rub this cuticle oil in to make sure that I keep my cuticles nice and moisturized. Here is the finished product. I think they turned out pretty well. I am really digging these nails. I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great St. Patty's Day. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will talk to you next time.